be the most important piece of legislation for the parks in half a century.
A plan to pay for overdue repairs in the national parks has a lot of support in Congress, but there's still no clear time frame for when it will be approved.
10 News reporter Jim Matheny shows us where the parks are struggling while waiting for some relief.
I'm working as hard on this as anything I've worked on in a long time.
Senator Lamar Alexander is not running for re-election in 2020. When he leaves Washington, he wants his legacy to include putting a big dent in a $12 billion list of overdue repairs in our national parks.
Well, number one, the Restore Our Parks Act. We have a bipartisan bill that the president supports that would cut in half the backlog.
Alexander came up with the Restore Our Parks Act in 2018, a plan that takes money from energy operations on federal land. But it's been more than a year. Nobody's voting on it, while the list of repairs in the parks keeps growing.
The Smokies has about a $220 million backlog in maintenance. That's things like Look Rock Campground, which is closed because it's not safe to go there.
Turn off the Foothills Parkway, you'll hit a dead end at Look Rock Campground. The gate's locked, fire hydrants don't work, the buildings are boarded up.
And this isn't just an issue here at the Look Rock Campground or in the Great Smoky Mountains. This maintenance backlog is having a major impact on National Park Service properties all across Tennessee and the entire country.
The Andrew Johnson Historic Site in Greenville has put off $1.7 million in repairs. There's also a big backlog at Obed and Cumberland Gap, and more than $26 million in overdue maintenance at Big South Fork.
And there are 417 national park properties in this country. It costs a lot to keep up.
So what is the holdup?
Money is the holdup. It's a matter of $5 or $6 billion. What are we going to take it away from in order to spend it on the parks? So it just takes a while to pass things in Congress.
The most Alexander would say about a timeline for finally voting on the Restore Our Parks Act is this Congress, which could be this year, maybe next year, sometime before he leaves office.
It'll be the single most important bill for the national parks in 50 years.
In the Great Smoky Mountains, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.
Senator Alexander believes the U.S. House will pass the Restore Our Parks Act before the Senate, but does not know when that will happen.